Look what I got today. That's right, today I picked up the new 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro processor. Now, this thing's been out for about a week, and you know on YouTube, all the professional reviewers, the top reviewers, they've already got theirs out. They've had this for a week now, already doing the reviews. However, I'm not a professional reviewer. What I am is a real customer. I had to go out and pay this with my own money. So what I'd like to do is share with you the unboxing, my impressions, and tell you how to save a couple $100 on your purchase of this. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll start with a little backstory. The backstory is, what is it replacing? So I have a 13-inch 2017 MacBook Pro. Now, those who are familiar with this generation of the MacBook Pros, it was controversial because it had this OLED touchscreen here that some people liked, some people didn't. It had no HDMI ports. It had no even USB-A ports. All you had were these USB-C ports, audio jack, and that's it. In exchange, you got a very thin computer, but the sacrifices were thermal heating, flexibility. You had to carry ports like this for HDMI, dongles, etc. So let's see, how pleased am I going to be with this? I bought this computer today at my local post exchange here in South Korea. Now, what I want you to do to save you some money is, this is an expensive computer. This is the 16 gigabyte, 1 terabyte, okay? Now, if you're in the United States, you could order this from Apple, have it shipped to your house. However, in South Korea, at an APO address, that is a military address, they will not directly ship to South Korea. But what you can do is price matching. So what you do is, if you're a student, you need to go on Apple's webpage, get the student discount, see if you can have it shipped to your house there. If you're somewhere else in the world, check your military discount. See if they have a military discount. Put your information in, they verify it, and this went from $2,499 to $2,249. So it got like, $200, $300 knocked off. And because the post exchange will do, ironically, they don't have a military discount there for Apple computers, but Apple's website does. So I showed him the information. The gentleman at the cash register verified it, and he gave me a discount. So I saved over $200. So with that in mind, let's go do the unboxing. What I'm really hoping to do is, I really hope this is going to last me for years, and I can do some serious video editing, like for these YouTube videos. Play some superior games, and other great things. So check it out. You got the tape here. Let's peel that off. Lift this up. I really like Apple's packaging. They are so clean, compact. I really enjoy that. So little waste. There, we got the computer. Look at that. You got your charger. You got your instruction manual with some wipes. So you take this off. Look at that right there. Isn't that beautiful? Very nice space gray. And on the back, you've got MacBook Pro. Now you may notice already, look at some of those differences. Our ports are back. HDMI 2.0. We have a Thunderbolt 3 USB-C port. We have SSD card reader again. We have 2 more of the Thunderbolt ports, headphone jack, and MagSafe is back. Remember MagSafe, that really cool invention from Apple where you could plug in your power charger into your Apple computer, and if somebody was to accidentally kick the computer, the cord would come out, but not your computer would not go flying around? Yeah, well, that's back. So if you're not familiar with MagSafe, here it is. It's a little different than the old versions. You got your little charging light right there. Plug it in, and voila. So, in theory, what happens is, like I kind of mentioned before, somebody walks along, trips the cable. This comes out without sending the computer flying. Although I gotta confess, that was a little tight on there, a little stronger than anticipated. Huh. Now, one interesting feature that's supposed to happen with these new MacBooks is that you can still use these C ports for charging. So what I'm gonna do later on in this video, we're gonna test that out. I wanna see, because I still have my old adapter over there. If I could plug in and use the C port, that would really be awesome. You have both the safety of the Mag port, but the flexibility of the C ports. That would be cool. So we'll check that out later. But let's also compare this. Look how thicker this is. Can you see right here? Now this is about 3.5 pounds. You can tell it's a little bit thicker than the old model it's replacing. And it's even got these really, the feet on this. Look how much thicker this is. They're more protrusive. And in many ways, that's a good thing. Thinness is great, but you also take a hit on performance. And what Apple's doing this time around, after 5 years of this design, ooh, listen to that. They're listening to their customers. They're putting the power back in there. They're putting the performance. Yes, it's gonna weigh heavier. It's a little thicker, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. Let's go ahead and remove this cover and look at this. Oh, look at that onion high sale. That is so pretty. Isn't that cute? So let's get this off of here and check out this new XDR screen. I will tell you now, watching this on camera, on YouTube, is not going to do this justice for what I'm seeing here. But this is a very beautiful screen. If you want more tech, more specs, go check out Apple's webpage. There's a lot of reviews who already covered it, but it's very eye-pleasing. Now, someone's going to say, hey, what about that notch? Yes, there is a notch up there. That's one thing I don't like. A lot of people don't like. But Apple has come up with a creative way of dealing with it. And what it's supposed to be is your menu functions will be up here and all your stuff will be down here. So it's kind of like seamless. But let's check out and see how true that is. Okay, so I took a moment to go ahead and set up my account, get the Wi-Fi connected so that we could go ahead and do a little play testing on here. Now I gotta tell you, the keyboard is wonderful. This is their Magic Keyboard. It replaces the old butterfly keyboard, which a lot of people complained about on this generation of Macs. And it's thicker, but oh boy, it's so much nicer. So let's go ahead and test this out. Let's move this over here. Really nice and smooth, nice opening there. Okay, let's go ahead and type. Yeah, all that. Now I'm not being very careful, but look at this, very nice. Yeah, definitely a plus right there. You also have improved speakers. We got speakers here, speakers there. Apple has placed speakers here and here, which you cannot see, of course, but if you were to look at a breakdown photo from iFixit or from apple.com in one of their promotional videos, they love to talk about it. So now I'm going to show you a couple last things. Make sure we get what do we have in here? Now, most Apple products will keep you with a little book on your MacBook Pro. Couple stickers, right? My kids, my girls, they love Apple, so I'll give that to them. This looks like, what is it, safety warranty information. Now, you got a little booklet showing you some of your specs here, features, great. See, MagSafe 3, and I'm sorry, Thunderbolt 4. I said Thunderbolt 3. My apologies, Thunderbolt 4. So, you got the little booklets, the stickers, this. Let's look at the charger. Now this charger looks to be a little bit bigger than the old predecessor, but not too much. In fact, let's compare that real quick. Okay, so we have the new charger, and this is the old charger. The old charger, I disconnected the cable, so I can quickly bring it over here. Yes, this is a little tiny smaller. Old, new, so this is a little bit bigger, but this also gives you more power, and from what I understand, faster charging. So, again, sacrifices might be worth it. So what we're gonna do now, let's plug this in, get this powered up. Now I've already got Touch ID going, so we're gonna go and restart this as if you were opening it up for yourself. We're gonna test out that Touch ID. We're gonna check out that notch, and then we're gonna do another experiment. Can we charge this computer with the C port? Let's begin. Okay, so now I got the adapter there, power cable here, and I should mention Apple's changed their power cables. This is a braided style. It's really nice. It's got a nice feel to it. It doesn't have that cheaper plastic feel to it like the old cables, which I couldn't call it cheap, but this is just a bigger improvement. But let's go ahead and plug it into the MagSafe. Boom. Shut it down. Oh yeah, look at that. Now I know that's not exactly true, but the way it was just so quick, so responsive, and you can see here. So look at that. It's really responsive. When I touch it, it goes off. I touch it again, boom. Really nice. And let's look up here at this notch now. This has gotten a lot of criticism, and I think it's kind of fair. If you're who wants to see a notch on their computer screen? But from what I've heard, it works really well. Look at that. So this is your menu section, and you roll it here, and it goes right through there. So that's not too bad. This is a 1080p camera, which replaces the old 720, which is wonderful. Now, the mouse pad needs a little adjustment. It's a little hard to push, so I gotta decrease the sensitivity, make it a little bit easier. But the scrolling, wonderful. Keyboard, wonderful. So far, so good. So now, we're gonna do an experiment. What we're gonna do is experiment. So we need, right here, we know that the MagSafe is charging. You see the light? It's charging. It's working. But can we take the MagSafe out, MagSafe 3 to be precise, and let's use the old C ports. Use the old power adapter and see if we can put one of these C ports and still let it charge. Okay, now here's the old C port. And look at what I was talking about. See how the cabling is a little more plastic here versus braided. Put these side by side. You got braided on the bottom and the old rubber plastic style on the top. Okay. Take this and plug it into USB-C. Ooh, I heard, did you hear that? And look at that, right up there. Look at that. It's charging. That is nice. So I think that is really cool. You got two options. You can either use your C port to charge this, or you got your MagSafe. Either one you choose that works for you is great. That is a great option. So now, as we kind of start winding down this first impression, so far I'm happy. Now this is not a review. I'm not doing like Geekbench. I don't have Final Cut Pro on here. We're not doing a performance test. This is just my initial impressions. And my initial impressions are this. The feel is great. It looks good. I mean, it's thicker. It's taking up more space than my old MacBook. But the keyboard is great. The layout is great. Like the charging options. Touch is working wonderful. It's snappy. It's performing well. But let us now look and see practical use case. Say you're going to work. Say you're a college student. Say you happen to like, I don't know, tactical EDC backpacks that you take to work daily. And you need to take your computer daily. How will this fit into something like the Direct Action Ghost? Now, this is my EDC bag. I take it to work. Occasionally I take it to hiking. I have no problems putting my old MacBook in there. What about the new MacBook? What I like to do, I like to put my computers here. This easily holds comfortably a 13-inch MacBook and other similar size models. But let's take our 14-inch. No problem. Really, really good. That's nice. That's great. That's good stuff. So, let me wrap up my first impressions. It's a little heavier than the old girl. It's heavier, it's thicker, but it gives you more power, more options, like it should have always been because it's supposed to be a MacBook Pro, as in professional. So, really great idea. Now, of course, you're talking over $2,000, $2,499 retail for the 1 terabyte, 16 gigabyte with the M1 Pro processor. That is not cheap, okay? So use whatever discounts you can get to lower that price. I plan on selling this off, get back some of that money. The question pops up, who's this for? Now, at the moment, to be honest with you, this is not your beginner computer. Really, like, you have someone who's going to college, they're just getting into computers or Apple. They need to go for, they still sell 13-inch versions of this, and they still have the Air. You should go for one of those, like maybe the 13-inch M1. Maybe the MacBook Air would be a better option. Or buy mine for me. Great condition, well taken care of. Still works. So, that's going to conclude this. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below. And please like, share, subscribe. Because when you like, share, subscribe, it lets me know you appreciate this. It gets the word out. And it also helps me understand more what you want to see. So, thank you all and have a good day.